Hey guys, John Blade here. Today I'm going to teach you how to strengthen your rotator cuff. The internal workings of the shoulder, very important little muscles to maintain stability, often neglected in a regular weight training and workout program. In general, when we're working shoulders, we picture the deltoids, front, medial, lateral delt, your traps, your upper pec, your upper rhomboids, but you have muscles attached to your humerus responsible for external rotation, internal rotation, and in some degree flexion. And we need to strengthen those little muscles because in the big compound gross movements like military presses and dumbbell flies or reverse delt flies or rows or pull downs, we're working this big muscles, and the big muscles take over the exercise, and the little muscles, they're along for the ride, but they don't get the ultimate benefit of being focused on. Rotator cuff exercises are specifically designed to do the motions that will strengthen your supraspinatus, your subscapularis, your infraspinatus, and your teres minor. The cool thing about rotator cuff strengthening is it's really easy. You don't need heavy weights. In fact, you don't want to use heavy weights. You can use just a stretchy band. You can use a can of soup from the kitchen cupboard. You can use your own body resistance in some ways, especially if you have an injury. If you have an injured rotator cuff or pain, seek a doctor first. Probably going to need to see a therapist or a trainer to do specific work for you. This video here is just to educate on a general, uninjured rotator cuff to prevent injury. That's the goal. Alrighty, so I'm going to run you through just some general movements with a little bit of resistance will lead to rotator cuff strengthening. Let's do this. Alrighty, so they sell stretchy band at Walmart, stretchy tubes. Very handy for working small little muscles like the rotator cuff muscles. There's three basic movements you need to do to strengthen your rotator cuff: external rotation, internal rotation, and scaption. You got your supraspinatus on the top of your scapula, which is attached to the humerus and will help pull it up in that way. You can externally rotate and go up to really hit it. But in any sort of 30-degree plane of flexion, you're going to be hitting that supraspinatus. Internal rotation, responsible for reaching back, like to tuck in your pants or your shirt in your pants, or reach back and scratch your back. Internal rotation. This is probably one of the more common muscles to get injured. External rotation, reaching out. You don't need to go heavy, you just need to go resistance. If you got an injury, go see a trainer. For now though, let's start with the stretchy band. External rotation. Very simply, elbows in, neutral as possible. If you have big old lats or you're a little bigger guy or a gal, you get it the best you can. Maybe you have to put yourself in a different position, but if you're generally shaped and your arms resting at the side are in neutral, grab your band, externally rotate. I'm in a good posture and I'm focusing on feeling my scapula and the muscles flexing. I'm not going like this. I'm not bringing my elbows away. I'm keeping my elbows in and externally rotating. Yeah, there we go. Nice. You do those as long as you're comfortable. To fatigue, take a break. Do another set or two. These are the kind of exercises you do every day or two just to keep your rotator cuff good and toned. And if you do it right, you can add weight over time and strengthen them, get them pretty strong. Then when you go do your compound movements like bench, you won't injure your shoulder because of weak rotator cuff muscles. So now internal rotation. harder to accomplish. You need to find a surface to keep your band on. We'll use this guy here. Elbow and the inside again, and I'm curling this into my belly. You don't need to be like crazy moving it like that. We're not doing chest flies. We're doing it internal rotation resisted, slightly resisted. Stay in good posture. You're actually working out muscles on the underside of your scapula, subscapularis. Then switch to the other side. Elbow in. I'm not letting it out. In, keeping it in. Focus on internal rotation. In good posture. Oh, there we go. Good. Excellent. You can use your stretchy band to do Scaption. Place it under your foot. In good posture. Put your arm 30 degrees out. Sort of dumbbell flies. That's just going to get you more working the top of your scapula and the deltoids. If you want to really hone in on this supraspinatus, internally rotate your arm and flies. Keep your shoulder down. Little guys. Won't take much to fatigue these little muscles out. Just stay in good form. Now the other side. Under your foot. 30 degrees out. Internally rotate. Good posture, shoulder down. Nice, slow, controlled movement. You can feel it. Oh yeah, I've had a long time left shoulder injury. Feels good. You can get a lot of muscle imbalances with things you do in life. I shoot archery for hunting, and I'm only doing it in this position with an 84-pound bow. So this shoulder takes a different load than this shoulder, so I have a muscle imbalance. I also drive different. We all drive different in our cars. Some people put their hand over here and their hand up on the steering wheel. Some people go like this, put their hand on the center console. Over time, your body gets comfortable with this positioning, high shoulder, low shoulder, and you can get muscle imbalances, and you need to look at your posture in the mirror. I have a muscle imbalance with my right shoulder up because of my bow and because I drive like this a lot. So pay attention to your posture, pay attention to your shape, and you can fix those muscle imbalances with training. Alrighty, let's try some more rotator cuff exercises. Alrighty, another way to work your supraspinatus or your scaption is to get on a bench, get laid on your side. Flat bench or incline. I prefer incline. Arm to the side. Working that scaption. Find a weight that works good for you. You can also externally rotate. Doesn't take much. You feel that little muscle fatiguing quick. And then external rotation. I like to do these flat. All the way on your side. Okay. Another good external rotator exercise. Rotation. With the dumbbell, Scaption. Flexion in front of you, 30 degrees. Scaption, working the rotator cuff muscle. Externally rotate. Neutral. Degrees. Palms down. External rotation. A lot of good body weight exercises are great for shoulder stabilization, like rings, ring push-ups, doing push-ups or dips with the rings, or pull-ups they tend to work the rotator cuffs pretty good compared to like a bench press or lat pull downs or rows. Even when you're doing military presses, if you want to really keep your shoulder stable, do some stabilizing exercises like this. Alrighty, so a good way to improve the stability of your rotator cuff is through stabilization exercises that involve body weight. Rings are a great one. Purely just stabilize. Oh yeah. Whew. It's very difficult. I recommend trying the rings at a gym if you have them. And try some push-ups using the rings. There's a lot of shoulder stabilization involved with doing push-ups with the rings. I do these a lot. I put these longer down towards the ground though, so. Static hold exercises are great for stability of the joint. I'm going into a 30 degrees flexion, shoulders down, trying to focus on my scapulas, my top of my scapula, my shoulder, getting in that position and holding it. Oh. Alrighty. One of the ways to keep the shoulder good is flexibility. You need to keep your shoulder moving through all of its ranges. A good exercise is to grab a towel or your fingers. Try to grab. I cannot do it. Try it on the other side. Not even close. I'm losing my flexibility as I get older. So put a towel or something behind your back. Work your way together to stretch. Alrighty guys, easy rotator cuff strengthening. External rotation, internal rotation, and scaption. A little bit resisted. Increase that resistance over time and you will end up with a strong rotator cuff. Always prevent injury, don't strain, don't do crazy weights, and don't do radical movements that are out of proper form. And we'll see you next time. Okay. Shoulder press, kid. You gotta stay stiff, kid. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Kid fly. Look in the front step. Don't go behind your neck. Okay.